Who doesn't need a little bit more happiness in their life these days? Join me on this next episode of Gifts and Gratitude and learn how a jar can increase your happiness. Today is the day that we get happy. I'm Wendy, and welcome to today's episode of Gifts and Gratitude. Typically, I'm here with Rick, and there's been a little shift in the energy. So for now, it's just going to be me today, sharing with you how to make a jar of happiness. I mean, really, think about it. If we could have happiness in a jar, wouldn't you want to take a little drink out of it? I think I probably would. I know that a couple of years ago, I was gifted a jar of happiness, and that is what stimulated wanting to share this with you today. Share this gift that you can give to yourself and or maybe somebody else that helps you to express gratitude for how you feel about yourself or others. Gratitude is that ultimate emotion that replaces a crappy day, because when you're feeling gratitude, it's hard to feel anything else with that. The fear, the worry, the doubt seems to go away. So let's talk about how we can do that with just a few simple ingredients today. So if you're going to make the happiness jar with us, you're going to need some colored paper. It's very simple today. A pen, a scissor, chop, chop, and you're also going to want a jar. A mason jar is my jar of choice, and or you can use some other type of container. As I mentioned, what got me excited about this was the jar of happiness, whoopsie, that my niece Emily, also known as Shay, gave me for my birthday quite a few years ago. And in this jar, you could see how this young lady decorated it with hearts. And there's a key. She actually did it with 3 different colors, and each message means something else. So if I were to pick a pink message, it's a goal for today. If I were to pick a teal message, it's when you want to punch someone in the face. I said I'm about gratitude and joy, but every now and again, something can piss me off. And then the third one is what my favorite niece thinks about me. So this little jar of happiness, when I am not having the best of days, which happens sometimes, or just randomly, I will pick one of these. So I just picked a green one, which is about when you want to punch someone in the face. So when you're having a bad day, what Emily recommends is to punch Uncle Matt. He'll forgive me. Well, Uncle Matt is my husband. So this is a fun gifty jar that you could make. Very simple, very easy to do. But we're going to simplify it a little bit today for our jar of happiness, because the second person that inspired me to do this is Elizabeth Gilbert. She was the author of Eat, Pray, Love, Big Magic, Commitment. I mean, she's written many books, but she talks about a happiness jar where you put something in the mason jar every day that represents something that made you happy that day. And so at the end of the year, you actually have 365 happies in a jar. Almost better than cookies, but not quite, but still pretty good. So that's what inspired me to look at bringing this activity to Gifts and Gratitude for you. So, our thing here is that you get to use things that you already have. They're gifts that you can make for yourself and others that expand the power of gratitude. And whether that gratitude, it raises your joy factor or someone else's, it's going to make everybody happy. And that's the ripple effect that we could use going around the world these days. So let's get going with our jars. We're going to make 2 jars today. That would be 2 jars. An I love me jar and an I love you jar. Doesn't that sound fun? So the I love me jar is really quite fun. What I did, and I already started my I love me jar, and I print it out. So you're going to take your paper, and now you can either write on it like I did here, or you can, this is upside down, I think, or you can print it out with your computer. My handwriting can be a little wacky, so I did use the computer. So in the I Love Me jar, I'm going to use this every day to do something that helps me to improve my self-care, right? Because that's when we take care of ourselves, it's a little better. So today I pulled write an affirmation. An affirmation is something that affirms something positive in our life. So the affirmation I will write is, oh, life loves me, and life loves you too, but life loves me. And when I remember that, then I know that good things are coming. So every time that you stick your hand in the I Love Me jar, you get a different piece of self-care that will help you love you. Like, I could send a gift to someone just because. Now, my love language, and we can talk about that on another day, is physical gifts. I love giving and receiving gifts. So this is going to make me excited and give me something to do that takes my attention off the crap that could be going on in the day and spread some love and gratitude to others. That's a ripple effect that keeps on giving. So that's what you'll do. On your I Love Me jar, you'll spend some time and you'll jot down anywhere from 20 to 30 things that you love to do, that you want in the jar, that you want to pull out. So there's some other ones in there, like take a nap, create some art, call a friend, eat a cookie. What other ones? You tell me. I'd love to hear in the comments what some of the things that you would write down in your I Love Me jar, right? What are some of the things that you would do that would raise your joy factor and let you experience more gratitude in your life? Maybe you would go and do a random act of kindness or an intentional act of kindness. Maybe you'll let someone merge into traffic because that feels so much better than when you don't let them in. Well, I say that, but there are sometimes I don't want to let somebody in. And that's usually because I'm not feeling the joy. I'm not feeling the gratitude. So it's an easy way to do that. So that's all you're going to do is you're going to fill your jar with your slips of paper of things that will fill your fountain, things that you love to do for you. It's all about you, babe. So that is the I Love Me jar. Then there is the I Love You jar, or even envelope. And let's talk about that because this is really fun too, especially with this Valentine's Day. Some people may be looking at things to give people that they love, and whether that's partners, friends, parents, kids. This is a really innovative gift that doesn't even use any calories, right? Like chocolate does. I like chocolate though too. Chocolate, there's no better way to say I love you than chocolate. I wonder if Matt just heard that. All right, so in the I Love You jar, you want to, same thing, get your jar, container, whatever you want to put it in, and you can decorate it, just like Shay decorated my jar. You can decorate your jar, and there's some things on Pinterest that you could do with Mod Podge and hearts, but we're not going to do that today. What you're going to do is think of who you're going to make this I Love You jar for, and then write down things about that person that makes you happy. So I'm going to make an I Love You jar for Matt. And here are some of the things that I'm going to put on his. You do the cooking most of the time. I love that about him. I love the way he makes me laugh. I love when you're going to laugh. Well, I don't know, maybe I won't tell you that one. You'll have to get to me later about what that one was. I love morning kisses and evening cuddles. I love how much he loves pie. I love that he loves me unconditionally. And I love what a good doggy daddy he is to Eli. I love when he drives on road trips and when he lets me sleep in. I love how he goes with the flow and how he loves my family. And I love that he takes the freaking garbage out. It's awesome. So I put my attention on all the things that I love about him. I'm going to put that in a jar and just imagine the impact as he reads one of those per day. I'm going to do 31 for a month, and he can recycle them as he goes along. And that just helps him to see how grateful I am for him. And that's going to make him feel good. It makes me feel good. And it's a real plus for our relationship and any relationship. Now, there may be some people that you want to mail this to, that you want to create an I love you envelope for someone. So how fun would it be to just take these pieces of paper? These are little slips that I cut, or you can cut the paper and make them little boxes. You can even cut them into little hearts if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to use at home to put in the jar. But if you want to send it in an envelope, you can do the same 30 things about what you love about someone and ask them to pull one of those a day. This is the impact that gifts and gratitude could make. Just imagine what that would be like. So I'd love to see your comments. I'd love to see your pictures. If you choose to make a happiness jar, and I love you jar, and I love me jar, a jar of happiness, whatever you choose it to be, share your pictures. And remember to subscribe and like us. And if you're not a member of the Gifts and Gratitude Facebook group, go on over there and join us over there as well, so we can see what you're up to. I will be back again next week sharing some foodie treat for you to enjoy for yourself or to share with others. Until then, I am grateful for the time you have given watching the YouTube, learning about gifts and gratitude, and here's to your delicious life. See you next time. Bye.